it became more and more difficult for us to raise private philanthropic dollars. We didn't want to compete with our grantees in raising money. That was always both a cramp and a pledge. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't hold fundraisers per se. So we kept going to the organized philanthropy in Michigan. And frankly, we did it remarkably well, given the fact that most foundations have a 3 to 5 year interest span. We were alive for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, a real testament to the willingness of Michigan foundations to participate in something like this. It got down to the point that the state became one of the largest funders, and one of our biggest projects was to try to help the state in both prevention, education, and what we call harm reduction, which is code for syringe exchange. Mm-hmm. That became very controversial. The state couldn't touch it. The state was not allowed to touch it. So they funded us to do it, which we did, and it's been very successful. But it got down to the point where that was about it, and we couldn't see ourselves being within philanthropy anymore. We had become a project manager. And so that looks a lot more like a nonprofit organization. And I think the fund at that point needed to evolve into a different style of organization, a different class of organization, really. And the natural place to put it, given a lot of negotiation and a lot of, not strings, but there were many demands made on both sides to make sure that one organization didn't really subsume the other. And so the merger with the Michigan AIDS Prevention Project was the most likely step. They too were statewide. We were statewide. They had the same interest in prevention and harm reduction. They were willing to raise money to fund grant-making efforts. And so it was a kind of a natural thing. CMF actually, I think, initiated it. They kept the supporting organization structure in place. It's just a holding shell, kind of, because it's too much work to try to set one of these up again. But they transferred the assets to the what is now the Michigan AIDS Coalition.